Hello guys, it's me again with another great video. Today we're going to be talking about supply and demand, okay, and how to identify the levels and how to profit with this amazing supply and demand technique. Okay, so we're going to be applying these concepts based also with some smart money technique and concepts. Okay, guys? So as you may know, supply and demand. Okay, I'm going to go first, show you how would it be a normal supply zone. Okay, so let me write it down here. So basically, supply and demand are going to be areas of interest. Okay, you may also call them order blocks or point of interest, etc. Okay, or usually banks and institutions, when you see price approaching one of these areas, you will see a reaction. Okay, so I'm going to show you first in a very basic way. Okay, whenever you see a large movement, let's say, okay, this is a blue, this is a red candle. Let's change its color. Okay, inside. Like that. This is a bullish candle and a bearish candle. Okay. Whenever you see price reacting in a big way, it's gonna be caused by an area. This, for example, this is gonna be the origin of a big move. Okay. Especially you want to see large candles with some imbalance going on. What does that mean? Imbalance means that it has space between the wicks. Okay, usually you will have the wicks like that. Okay, and the other wick is going to be somehow like that. So basically the imbalance is going to be this area that you will have like that. So what does that mean? It means that banks and institutions, whenever they make push, there's going to be some orders left behind. Okay, so price is going to eventually come back and fill those orders, and then it's going to continue pushing down. Okay, so basically in here it's going to be created, we're going to have our supply zone. I'm going to put it in a different color. So whenever price comes back into this area, we're going to be looking to sell. Okay, and we can target the next zone. Okay, which is going to be into the next demand zone. So now, and not always, guys, as a tip, not always it's going to be a bullish candle or the opposite candle. Not always, okay? I'm going to show you in the charts like how and why, okay? Because maybe you will have this is going to be maybe also a bearish candle, but it's going to be the origin of the move, okay? And they're going to act as magnets. Okay, price is going to go back into it and then it's going to continue dropping. And the same thing is going to happen with demand. Demand is going to be below. Okay, we're going to have something like that. And this is going to be bullish candle. This is going to be a bearish candle. Okay, so in here, it's going to leave an area. And that's our demand zone, guys. Okay, so that is where we want to see whenever price comes back to take some orders. Okay, so now let's go back into the charts. Okay, so this is Euro 30 minutes. What do we have here, guys? As I told you, we have a bullish candle, and as you can see, we have this huge push down. Okay, so what was the origin? It was this bullish candle. So there are different ways to draw your zones. It will depend. Like usually price will never, like it will not respect the wicks, and usually it's gonna respect the body, and sometimes it's gonna reach the 50%. But I draw it from the wicks so that you can have a clearer range. Okay, you can use this little tool so that you can see the extremes. Okay, the low, the high, the wicks, and the 50%. So as you can see, guys, price came back up and it tapped. As soon as it tapped, it dropped again. And what do we have here? It was like a ping pong, okay? Usually dojis are going to be a good supply and demand candles in which you can use to draw and use them as zones, okay? So as you can see, we have this one was a pretty decent zone. And as you can see, as soon as it tapped again, right? Same in here, again, it repeated here. As you can see, price also tapped again. And basically, as you can see, it is all over the market, right? Here too, we had this little doji candle, price tapped into it and it dropped. Okay, so let's see more examples. So basically, there are two ways in which you can trade it. Okay, one, which is the most aggressive or risky, would be putting pending orders. But the thing is, like, you never know if the market is just gonna like continue pushing up, right? And actually, we also have, which is called the breaker, right? Or a broken zone. So that's why you want to wait and have some sort of a confirmation. And we can go through some of them. One of them is like candle confirmation, okay, which is pretty nice. So let's go through it. So what you want to do, guys, is you want to go into the lower time frames to find some sort of a confirmation. And as you can see, this, as you can see, guys, this was a liquidity, okay, and it was inducement for some traders that thought that when price was going to reach in here, it was going to drop, and it didn't, right? So all the sellers, they got stopped out in here, and all the buyers also. Why? Because we had our zone in here. So one method is entering after you have a 5-minute candle confirmation, just like this one right here. Okay, so you can enter and place your sell order, and you will place your stop loss above, and you will go to the next zone, which in here you could take some partials, because in here we had another zone, we had a demand zone. Okay, so in here you could have taken some partials, and your second target, which eventually reached, could have been around these lows. Okay, because in here it was the origin of this new high. Okay, so that's where you want to target your second TP, somewhere around there. Okay, and okay, so another method, guys, as you may know, it's narrowing into the 1 minute and finding some sort of a change of character, which we also can see in here in the 5 minutes. Okay, as you can see here, we had this break of these lows, and we had here another supply zone, which you can draw it like that. And as you can see, price went and tapped and it dropped. Okay, usually I recommend placing your trades a couple, maybe 1 or 2 pips below, so that you can eventually get filled. Otherwise you wouldn't like get filled, okay, your order. And then you can target like same. Okay, and as you can see, guys, you can catch really good moves with very tight and small risk and good reward. Okay, so this is another way finding a change of character. Let me write it here. So basically the change of character, guys, it's whenever you are in an uptrend, okay, you're gonna wait for this break of this previous low. That's gonna be an indication or a sign that price is making a new low and it's gonna reach to the next supply zone, which is in here. And that's basically a pretty good confirmation, guys. Okay, so now let's go and identify another good trade. So basically, as you can see in here, price, once it made this drop from that supply, you could have entered another, again, a buy from here. Okay, in here, as you can see, we had this big push up. Okay, we made this new high, retested, and it went straight into the supply, and then it happened what we talked about. So based on the things that I talked about, the first entry could have been taking these 5 minutes at the close with your stops below it, and your target could have been to the next supply zone. Okay, guys? So that's one method. And another one is waiting for change of character, which could have been in here, like that. Okay, and as you can see, it left another demand zone right here. I actually I took this trade and I waited. Once I saw it broke, we had this change of character and made this new high. I knew for a fact that price was going to reach into this level of demand. As you can see, we have pretty nice imbalance going on with this candle, okay, which had been filled, and then we had a nice push up. In here, you can enter straight away with a pending order with your stops below, just in case it wicks down, and your target till the next supply zone. As you can see, it could have been a very successful trade, and just in a matter of the same day, you could have had, okay, let's put both trades. So as you can see, guys, in a matter of the same day, you could have taken pretty decent trades with large risk reward ratios. And if you were trading a funded account, probably you could have totally targeted, achieved your 8%, okay, or whatever is the target in which you need to pass the phase one and phase two, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna see a case in which we have a broken supply or demand zone. So in here, it's pretty obvious, right? As you can see, we had this push down. And in here, this was the last bullish candle. We had the last buyers before the sell-off, okay? So that's why I always recommend to trade with confirmation in case these things happen. As you can see, guys, like price tried to react, right? And it was like faking out a lot of traders thinking that price was gonna drop. But in reality, just like broke it with strength and then it came back and then it continued its move up. So what do you want to do in these cases? Well, you want to wait, as I said, for confirmation, guys. Okay, so I zoomed into the 5 minutes, and as you can see, guys, we never broke, we never had a change of character. Okay, we had these lows, and as you can see, it never got broken. So we never had a confirmation. So, for example, price, let's say, broke in here, then it could have come back and then dropped in this zone, which we have in here, which is a doji. But none of that happened. Instead, price continued trending up, guys. As you can see, we had this structure happening, and then we actually have this zone. We have this demand zone going on. It made this high, came back, then again, and as you can see, guys, it was making equal highs. So as you know, whenever you see that happening, that means we are gathering some liquidity. So what does that mean is that we have some sellers and then also some buyers. So in this case, price decided to break and take out this liquidity. Okay. So basically, we made this new high and price retested, as the retails would say, right? Break and retest. Let's zoom out a little bit. And in here, we had our broken zone of supply. Okay, so basically that's a good example, guys, of a broken zone. Okay, and as you can see in here, we created a new zone. Okay, in which price made this high, came back, and then continue moving into that direction. So maybe you could have taken a buy here with some lows, with your stop loss below these lows, and you could target it whatever, right? Like whatever is the next zone of supply. Okay, and as you can see, we had a pretty nice push, and you knew for a fact that price was going to continue going up because it already broke in that supply zone and it came back to test it. Okay, so you could have just like continue looking for some buys. For example, here I see price, we had this beautiful zone right here, right? And price came back to it and continue moving up. And then again in here, we had this zone, price came back to it and continue moving up. And so on and so forth, guys, until we have this break with change of character, and that's why price continue like to go down. And by the way, guys, if you want to learn more in depth about my techniques, I have a course with sell-off 10% discount, which is lifetime access into all my videos. And actually, I want to show you guys some of my trades sent to the VIP, in which also you will have access to. Okay, I always might mark up my trades, and as you can see, for example, here, okay, we have this nice previous setup in which I marked up my zone, right? And look what happened next. Okay, we have a pretty nice push up. In here, also I marked up my demand zone previously, and then what happened next? We have a pretty nice trade. Also, this nice trade with some liquidity going on. I mark up my supply zone. This was up before, and look what happened next. Okay, we have a huge push down on GJ. Then again, we had this also mark up with a supply zone, and then look what happened. Okay, guys. Same in here. I had the demand zone, came back up. This one was from today. Had the demand zone marked up and pushed up pretty nicely. So you will get access whenever you buy the course, you will have access to the VIP with the signals. Also, it includes a one-on-one private mentoring call with me. And it's very, very complete, guys. I recommend you. So that's it for today's video, and I hope you learned something. And if you have any comments, please let me know. Any other video you would like to watch, you may subscribe and click the like button. So see you until the next one.